or a brush or a bucket or any of that stuff, tarps and all that, let me introduce you to Wagner. So I bought my first Wagner power sprayer about 6 or 7 years ago. Love it. My project was I wanted to paint my shed. And you guys have probably seen my blue shed, right? If you've seen my garden show. I painted that shed completely in about 15 to 20 minutes using the Wagner power sprayer. Very little spillover, right? Very easy to do. No taping, all right? Easy, no dripping. Maximizing my paint because it actually puts air in the paint, which makes the paint spread more evenly, and it's not gloopy or gloppy. So if you need to do 1 or 2 coats, you will love it. It is called the Flexio 4000. Everybody that orders will get the Flexio painter. You'll also get the secondary one, so this is great for detailing. You get both these included. You dial up the spray, either a horizontal or a vertical spray. You can control the amount of paint that goes through it. Same with on the smaller one. Okay, we are doing a discount of $217 down to $169. The best part about it is the cleanup, 5 minutes. It is, you know, when I first bought one, I was like, oh, am I gonna have to soak up? Rinse it out with water, put it away. Easier than trying to wash out brushes and do all that other crud that you have to do with a regular paint job. I love it. So anyway, indoors or outdoor painting, you can use any kind of paint, even the heavier paints or stains. You can use those as well. $169.95. I gotta get right to Lou because I know we're going a little bit over in time. Lou, do your stuff, buddy. Show everybody how easy this is.
All right, let's jump right into it here. So I'm gonna paint this door real quick here using my Flexio 4000. Now, the main part of this, the impeller sits on the ground. The part that I've got in my hand here with the paint in it weighs less than a gallon of milk. So it's actually really easy to work with. Now, Guy, watch how fast I can paint this door. And everything on this is totally customizable. So I can control how much paint's coming out. I can control how wide the stream of this is. And with this particular model, I can even control the impeller inside and control the air pressure that's pushing this out. So real quick, boom, just like that, we painted that door. And you can see how fast it is. Now, I went faster than I could with the brush and roller. It's gonna dry faster and I use less paint. Let me do one more thing real quick. I've got a wicker chair over here, Guy, and I know that for you and I both, this is like the bane of our existence to have to do a wicker chair because it takes a lot of work, but I want you to see how fast I can do this with the Wagner. And I don't have to use a brush. I don't have to do any stippling, okay? So here we go. I'm gonna turn this on. Watch how quickly I can do this. And it's gonna get into every single nook and cranny on this. And I can do this in one pass if I want to, which I think is really amazing because it does such a nice even coat as I go over this. Look at that. And again, imagine doing this on a hot summer day. You're standing outside. The last thing you want to do is spend a lot of time doing a project like this when you might want to go to a ball game. You might want to sit down and relax. But Guy, that quickly, we're going to say that that chair is done. You see how fast it is? I mean, I didn't do the back of it, but my gosh, what did it take me? 45 seconds? I mean, it's crazy.
The first time I used it, I actually thought, I'm like, how have I not known about this for years? How have I not known how? And then you wonder, because when you get your house painted, are the guys out there with brushes and rollers painting the exterior of your house? No, they're using spray painters. It's faster. You get better results. No brush marks, no drip, no mess. It's much cleaner. The problem is those guys are using $3,000, $4,000 systems. You can get one from the people that know and have been doing this for years, Wagner, for $169.95 on sale today. So even if it's just your deck, maybe it's your outdoor chairs, maybe it's a table, furniture, trim, indoors, walls, right? My next job, I'm gonna do my sun porch because my sun porch is stucco. Have you ever tried to paint stucco with anything other than a spray painter? You can't. You can't use a roller on heavy duty exterior stucco. You'll be out there all day and you'll use 50 gallons of paint. You need a compressor and you need an air spray painter, and that's what this is. So whether it's indoors, outdoors, in fact, Lou's got an outdoor project for you right now. Lou, go ahead, show him.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first I want to show everybody real quick the control on this, okay?
Yeah.
When you look at the top of this, you're going to see right here, you can adjust right here how much of the product is going to come out of this. I can adjust right here how wide the stream is. You showed everybody earlier how you can go from vertical to horizontal just by rotating that. And then on the base unit, you've also got the ability to control how much spray is coming out. But I'm just going to go full blast on this. I'm going to use stain, not just paint, okay? And this is a raw wood fence. Raw wood fences love to eat up anything you put on it.
Right.
Whether it's stain, it's paint, no matter what it is, guy. And look at the way that this is going on here. So if you've got a big project, like a whole backyard, a deck, I mean, anything like that that you've got to do, your Wagner Flexio 4000 is going to make short work of it. And not only will you get done quicker, you're going to use less paint, or less stain in this case, to get that job done.
Lou, let's look at that fence right there. If you were using a brush, tell me how you would paint that. Did we lose Lou? Did he freeze up?
All kinds of stuff.
Here he is. All right, go ahead, Lou. So if you had to use, right. No. Go ahead, you do it now. Go ahead, show everybody. You'd have to stipple.
No, I was going to say, we're talking about roller, we're talking about a brush, we're talking about stippling underneath there. I mean, this would be a big project. Plus, it's not going to put down the volume of paint that I can do with my Wagner. So we're talking multiple coats without the Wagner.
The basis of how paint is usually very, very thick, very viscous, unless you get to stains. But the way by which we normally apply it is we use something that's very thick, like a brush or a roller. So half the paint sticks on the roller, you're pushing it on there, the roller sticks to the wall surface, the brush gets goopy paint on the side, and you're wasting a lot of paint. When you have the Flexio, you don't waste any paint. In fact, do you realize that if you were to paint a 10 by 12 wall with a regular bucket of paint and a roller, and I've done it, one big wall in your bedroom, how many times do you have to put more paint in the tray? Right? 4 or 5 times. You got to pour more paint in that tray to do one wall. One container of paint in the one power sprayer will do an entire wall without having to go up and down and rolling back and dropping and dripping paint. All you do is grab it, right? You got the hose. You're done. It's that easy. Obviously you have a little bit of taping and stuff like that to do, but it's never been easier. $169.95 is a better price than I paid for mine, and I bought mine 6 years ago. I paid $199 for mine. It was worth it. I use it all the time. It is easy to clean. This has updated technology that mine never had, because mine's 7 years old, Lou. This is much easier even than it was back then.
No, it is, and that's the thing about this. You're talking about how it breaks down. 5 minutes, 5 pieces. It's that easy to clean this when you're done with the job. But let's do another quick one. I'm going to paint the deck and the railing. I'm going to use the detail nozzle, which we haven't done yet. So I'm going to turn this on, and this is for your finer job. So I'm going to use it on the railing back here. And you're going to see how quick and easy that just paints this railing in just a couple of seconds. A beautiful shade. Now, I'm going to turn off my impeller, and all I've got to do is just rotate this handle, take off that nozzle, and now we put on the iSpray nozzle. That fits right on, and it actually clicks into place. Like, I know that's on there now because I can hear it. Now watch this, how fast I can do this deck over here. Look at that. I mean, it just makes such short work of any project, guy. And as you said, I'm not going back and filling up my pan so that I can take my roller and finish this job up. And I'm not having to go back and stipple anything. With a brush, boom, we're done. I gave it a little extra blast right there. I mean, come on. Yeah. Just make short work of any summer project that you're going to tackle.
So let me tell you a little backstory on me and Lou. So Lou and I, he knows exactly what I was saying.
I do.
Lou and I decided after all the do-it-yourself hard projects that we got done during COVID, that now everything was going to be easy, right? So we are looking, and Lou is looking to bring products that are easy to use, and that's what this is. And I will tell you, anybody that has tried to paint, present company included, an Adirondack chair. You know what an Adirondack chair is? They should call it a paint in the whatever chair. You know exactly when it comes to trying to paint it. There are so many little cracks and crevices and nuances. Oh, it's beautiful, it's an Adirondack chair, la, la, la. It's just a pain in the butt to paint. Same with the wicker that Lou showed you. And when you use a power painter, like we're showing you today, you're basically taking the principles of a pressure washer and you're using paint. And remember what I say about pressure washer. Pressure washer forces a material, water in a pressure washer, where a normal hose can't go. It gets in the cracks. It gets in the crevices. Areas where you gotta get that paint in, which you'd have to take a brush, and I have a brush right over here. Look, I got a regular little stippling brush right here. I gotta take this brush, I gotta dunk it in paint, and then I gotta get in I gotta do this. These little, do you know what a pain in the butt that is? All that, and then this brush you're throwing away because it gets trashed from stippling anyway. Why do that? I mean, if you have to cut in things in certain areas, I get that. If you don't want to overspray on another wall, I get that, or tape. But why do the bending? Lou, the rolling, where you got to bend over, you got to load up the roller, and then the roller. Lou, what happens to the roller? Paint gets on the sides, right?
Right. right? It drips all over. And then those things, I never, you know, people wrap them in plastic bags to save them for the next day because you can't finish a project in one day with a roller, right? But you know what? That never works for me. They always dry out, they get hard. With your Wagner, it's never gonna happen. Remember what we said, 5 minutes, 5 pieces. You'll be ready to go again anytime you wanna paint with this. And it's gonna last you for years. I've had one now for 2 years, one of the newer ones, and the thing works like a champ. Real quick, for all the crafters out there, if you ever want to upcycle something, you want to make something look fresh and new, watch this. I'm using that detail nozzle again. Watch how I can come on here and just rotate this pot around just like that. I just about did the whole thing in one pass. Boom, 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 and done. Look at that. That's ready to go right there. You can't do that with a brush guy or roller. Real quick, we got a couple seconds. I'm going to do this louver behind me, and this is another one of those jobs that you and I, we hate this, okay? All right, here we go. Watch the louver here. Watch how fast I can do this.
Hardest job to ever paint. Here it goes.
Oh my gosh, I hate doing louvers. I'm just gonna go back and forth and work my way down here. You know what's cool about this guy? Is that paint is actually getting up underneath the louvers as I'm going down here. And it's doing a great job of getting a nice even coverage here. Look at this thing go. And I'm gonna end up using less paint. Do you know that if you paint a room inside, guys, by the time you get to the fourth wall, the first wall is already dry when you use your Wagner Flexio 4000. We're just about done here. Now, if I were doing this with a roller, with a brush, how much longer? And we're done, guys.
Lou, first of all, Kelly Caputo, I'll be very proud of you because you're a good crafter with your pot, but also I'm very proud of you. I've never seen a louver door like